Well, good morning and a blessed Memorial Day to all of you all. We honoring those who paid the ultimate price and sacrifice for our freedom. I am Ramanda Noble Watson, the Director of Communications and Public Relations for the South Carolina High School League, and it is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you into the 2025 South Carolina High School League Softball State Finalist Press Conference. With us on this morning, we have coaches and players from Class 5A Division 2. And as you know, it's the holiday, so Dr. Singleton had a previous obligation, so he would not be able to be with us, but he definitely sends his congratulations and safe travels to this throughout the state finals. So let's meet our teams competing in Class 5A Division 2. It's Catawba Ridge High School, coached by Mike Mayak. Coach Mayak, please introduce us to your student athletes.
Yeah, so to my left, I've got Mia Kovacs, who is our catcher, and to my right is Kirsten Reynolds, who is our shortstop.
Thank you so very much. And they will be competing against St. James High School, coached by Paula Blackwell. Coach Blackwell, your players, please.
Yes, so to my right is Reagan Tibbetts, a junior pitcher, and to my left is Mackenzie Kraus, a junior shortstop.
Thank you so very much. And so at this time, we're going to have our coaches give us a brief synopsis on their season and how they made it to the state finals. And we will begin with Coach Mayak from Catawba Ridge.
Yeah, so obviously been a great season. These girls have put in a ton of hard work, from the get-go, and it really started back in October when we had fall workouts, and then into January, February, and these two specifically have done a great job. We have a lot of younger girls that these girls have helped kind of bring along and show the way that we do things, and a lot of hard work has gone into this season. So we're happy to be here, but we put a lot of hard work into it.
All right. Thank you, Coach, for sharing that. And Coach Blackwell?
Yes, we started the season, put a lot of work in. We got started in January. We opened up with Somerville and Ainer, so we definitely were battle tested the first week. And then our conference, the beach conference, we had some good games there. We have a strong junior class. We're a pretty young program, and the juniors really have done a great job in leading the way with our sophomores and freshmen, and then a couple of eighth graders. But we've just kind of keep it light, keep it fun, and congratulations to Kataba Ridge also.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we'll be back with our coaches shortly, but for now, we're going to jump to our student athletes, and we will open up the questioning with St. James. And so, Reagan, this is a two-parter. What will it take for your team to win a second state softball championship for your school?
Um, I just think if we come with a lot of energy and our bats are on and no errors in the field, that I think we can take it all the way.
And so we talked about it being the second championship. How long has it been since your team has won the softball championship?
Well, I wasn't even born yet. It's been 18 years.
Okay, then. All right, then. And so we're gonna go. That's a pretty long time. And so we're gonna go to Mackenzie. And when did you realize that your team had the potential to go deep in the playoffs and possibly reach the state finals?
I believe when we got to the core of our region, when we all looked at each other and we all wanted the same goal in the end, and we all were willing to put the Sundays in on getting work in and the extra days practicing over spring break just to get ready to go to playoffs.
All righty. So thank you so much, ladies, and sit tight as we go to your opponents in Catawba Ridge. And Kirsten, I'll start with you. What would you say is something that has helped your team get through the playoffs and ultimately to the state finals?
I think we just take one pitch at a time and we focus on every inning, and just focusing on what's on the field and not worrying about the outside things.
Absolutely. No outside noise. That is a great thing. And take that with you through life as well. And so, Mia, talk about what it would mean to you and your team and your community to bring home a state championship.
I mean, it would be awesome. We've already done it the past 2 years. This is our fourth year back in state championship. So we're pretty prepared. We're just ready to stay within ourselves today and just play our game.
All righty. So we're going to go back to the coaches for a minute, and this one is for Coach Blackwell at St. James. And I think I've asked this, excuse me, to one of your players as well. At what point did you realize that your team had put all the pieces together to make it to the state finals?
Well, I think when we played Carolina Forest in our conference, they're really loaded, have a lot of talent, and I think we were able to, beat them, and I think it gave us some confidence. And then another time was in the playoffs. We faced West Florence and then Berkeley, and those were times where it was high pressure situations, and we were able to win. I think that really, I started thinking, hey, this might happen.
Absolutely. And so, Coach Mike at Catawba Ridge, what are some of the things, if any, you did differently from the regular season to during the playoffs to help you make this run to the state finals?
I think for us, it was leveraging the regular season for some of those pressure situations that Coach mentioned. I mean, we had some games early on against Aner and Burns back to back, where the girls really, what I'll say, grew up and grew together, and really gelled. And I think for us, it was carrying that experience with us into the playoffs to know that, those 3-1, 1-0 games that, we can prepare ourselves for those, because that's what you're going to see in the playoffs. That's certainly, I think, what Coach and I expect. You want those great games, those one-run games that come down to a play here and a play there. And we focus a lot, not just on hitting, but on defense. And these two are great examples of that. I mean, they come through clutch when we need them, making spectacular plays in the field. And so I think we kind of carry that experience into the postseason.
All righty. Well, as I told you all before we got on the press conference, those are all the formal questions we have for you all. Not too difficult, but we can't let you go without giving the viewers another side of you all. I like to call it the less serious side, not the player, just who you are. And so with that, we have one more question. So this year for the coaches, it's a question I normally ask student athletes. And that is, what is your pre-game go-to meal? So I asked the student athletes this, and maybe a little different now that you're in the state finals, but in general, what is your pregame go-to meal or snack if you have one? And so I am going to begin with Coach Mike.
All right, so you're going to get the honest answer here. I don't eat before games.
Okay. Don't do this, student athletes. Make sure you eat. Go ahead. So is it something that you have to have? Okay, the game is over. Is it something that you like, let me get my...
I'm probably going to have something unhealthy and a Diet Coke.
Unhealthy and Diet Coke. Okay.
Yep.
Coach Blackwell.
Well, I usually, whatever our pregame is, and we have some great pregames here at St. James. It's usually Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's. The coaches, we kind of get as excited as the kids about what's for pregame. We let them eat first, and then we go through and get our, nourishment as well.
All righty. All righty. Thank you so much. All right. So athletes, this is your question. If you could trade places with any professional athlete, who would it be and why? A professional athlete. So this time we're going to start with St. James and Reagan. Who would you trade places with and why?
I think I would trade places with Carlin Pickens because, obviously she's a pitcher and she's just like kind of the star right now. She just hit a new record with 79.4 miles an hour. So I just that'd be cool to be in her shoes.
Absolutely. Okay, Mackenzie?
I would say Bray Ellis because she can just hit the ball so good and play the field. She's an all-around great athlete.
Absolutely. Just watched her play yesterday, as a matter of fact. All right. And so finally, Catawba Ridge. And we're going to start with Kirsten.
I would pick Grace Lyons because she was a really good shortstop, and she won a bunch of national championships, and she also glorifies God in everything she does.
All righty. And finally, Mia.
I would just say Skylar Wallace because she's a Florida Gator, she's a dog, and you gotta have that dog mentality out in the field.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me this morning, just for a brief moment. That's all I have for the coaches and athletes. And I would like to thank both teams, I should say, for participating in this morning's press conference with me. You can catch these teams today at 6 p.m. St. James will be the host in game one. So again, thank you all. Congratulations for making it to the state finals. And this does end our press conference. Good luck and safe travel.